Hey everyone, in this particular video we are going to discuss about the finance current affairs for the February 2026 month. So this is the compilation video. So let's get the discussion started. इस वीडियो के अंदर हम पूरा February का finance current affairs we are going to cover. Okay, so this is going to be very important for your examination. The very first question for today is this one. So we'll be doing a MCQ based revision for the finance current affairs, and at the same time for those finance current affairs that are very important for your examination, I'll be pasting the exact screenshots from the finance current affairs PPTs as well, right? So the very first thing is natural disasters often disrupt the borrower's repayment capacity. If there is a natural disaster, then definitely the borrower's repayment capacity is also going to be disrupted and can quickly push otherwise healthy account into stress. And to address the same thing, RBI has introduced disaster recovery lending framework, right? So which combination of relief measures have been formally announced for the borrowers affected by the notified calamity. So if the borrower is affected by certain notified calamities, definitely there are some relief measures that RBI has actually announced. Option A, temporary interest waiver and principal write-off for of the loans, moratorium on repayment and restructuring of the loan terms, one-time settlement and conversion from loan to equity, credit guarantee coverage and refinancing window, and the last one is conversion of term loan into working capital loan, and here the correct choice is option B, moratorium on repayment and restructuring of loan terms, right? Acha, before moving to the next question, would like to quickly tell you that in case if you are looking for a finance study group, you can note my Telegram ID. If you type CA Prateek Finance, if you type CA Prateek Finance on Telegram, you will get my group link. You can join that group. I frequently share finance related content on that particular group, helpful for your regulatory body preparation, and you can anytime ask me any query as well. Next question, account restructured under the RBI's disaster recovery relief framework will continue to be classified in which category subject to specified conditions. So we have discussed that your account will still be classified as standard even if you are not able to service your interest and principal for certain amount of time, right, based on the prescribed conditions. During the disaster related relief period, banks may levy interest on the outstanding principal, but penal interest, default charges or other charges should not be imposed for the relief period. This is true, false, partially true, true only for MSMEs or applicable only to the agriculture loan. This is going to be important for your examination. This is a important stuff. So what do you think will be the correct choice here? Any idea? So when I am reading the question, you also have to read the question and quickly comment the correct answer in the comment section. Okay, that's how we are going to proceed. So would request everyone to please comment in the comment section what is the correct answer. The correct answer here is A, it is completely true, right? So the penal charges, the penal interest or the default charges or any other kind of fees should not be imposed for such a kind of relief period as per the relief measures in the certain areas affected by natural calamities which was released recently, right? Okay guys. So this is going to be definitely important. And next one, IRDAI periodically reconstitute advisory bodies comprising the experienced industry professionals to strengthen the policy input. Recently, such a kind of committee was constituted with immediate effect under the new leadership, right, under the chairmanship of Mr. A.V. Girija Kumar. So can you tell me the name of that committee? And this question can be important for your RBI Grade B examination or any other regulatory body that you are targeting. Okay, these kind of questions can definitely come in your general awareness section as a part of finance current affairs. Okay, as a part of finance current affairs. What will be the correct choice here? The correct choice here will be, guys, option C. Reinsurance Advisory Committee is the committee which is reconstituted under the chairmanship of Mr. A.V. Girija Kumar. Okay, please do remember this one. Next, Indian public sector banks are increasingly expanding into international financial hubs to support the offshore banking and cross-border finance. RBI has also recently approved one such bank to open a branch in Gujarat IFSC zone. Which public sector bank headquartered in New Delhi received this approval in February 2026? And the name of the bank here is option E, Punjab and Sindh Bank. Okay, so Punjab and Sindh Bank recently got the RBI approval for the IFSC branch. Okay, that's the correct choice. Next one is India and the World Bank launched a new country partnership framework to support growth, employment and structural reforms over a multi-year horizon. The framework outlines significant annual financing commitments for development priorities. How much annual financing has the World Bank committed for India for financial year 2026 to financial year 2031? What's the number here? And guys, the correct choice here will be option D. 8 to 10 billion USD is the commitment from the World Bank, that too annually for this particular period. Okay. To improve the efficiency in the trade finance and the international banking operation, SEBI has set up a centralized facility to serve multiple regions through technology-enabled processing. This moves support faster turnaround and stronger compliance. Which facility has SEBI launched in Kolkata for this particular purpose? So in Kolkata, we all know that SEBI has launched, and this is going to be a very important question for your examination. This can directly come in your examination. The correct choice is Global Trade Finance Center. Okay, so SEBI has actually introduced Global Trade Finance Center in Kolkata for this particular purpose. Next one, recognizing the financing needs of capital incentive future industries, SBI has launched a dedicated center of excellence to support emerging sector through structured project finance and risk assessment. What is the name of this particular initiative? Everyone in the comment section, guys, quickly. Everyone in the comment section, what is the name of this particular initiative here of State Bank of India? This is the initiative of State Bank of India. And the correct choice here will be, guys, option E. This is the Chakra. This initiative center of excellence is called as the Chakra initiative. Next one, to enable the Indian clearing entities to operate in European markets, RBI has signed a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the European Financial Regulator. And this particular arrangement facilitates the regulatory cooperation for a specific category of the market infrastructure. Which entities are covered in this particular MOU? Payment aggregator, credit risk agencies, depositories, central counterparties, or trade repositories. What should be the correct choice? Quickly in the comment section, quickly. What will be the correct choice here? And here the correct answer will be option D, central counterparties. This is all about central counterparties. Okay. MOSPI recently launched a unified digital platform to improve public access to government statistics and program performance indicators across multiple domains under one interface. What is the name of this national level platform? What is the name of this national level platform? The name of this national level platform is Paymana. Option C, Paymana. Okay, this is also important. Please do remember for your general awareness paper, phase 1 basically, right? As part of fiscal consolidation effort, the Union Budget 2027 outlined key deficit target while continuing the growth oriented spending. Can you tell me the fiscal deficit has been pegged for financial year 2027 as a percentage of GDP? Important for the exam. Important question from the examination perspective. And the correct choice here will be option D, 4.3% of the GDP. Okay, 4.3% of the GDP is the fiscal deficit which has been targeted for financial year 2027. Okay, next one. India's medium term debt strategy aims to gradually reduce the public debt ratios while maintaining the development expenditure. Can you tell me the debt to GDP ratio which is projected for financial year 2027? This is also important. So these numbers are quite important for your examination. Please do remember these data points very well. Okay, here the correct choice is option D, 55.6% is the debt to GDP ratio which is projected for 2027. In the union budget document, the source side breakup of the government receipts, how the government is making money or receiving the money, is presented using a rupee come from framework highlighting major funding channels. From which broad category does the rupee come from primarily originate? Is it the capital receipts, tax revenue, borrowings and liabilities, disinvestment proceeds, or the non-tax revenue? Which one is the correct choice? What do you think so? Which one is the correct choice? Option C, borrowing and liabilities is the correct choice. Okay, borrowings and liabilities becomes the source contributing to the receipts. Next one, the budgeted infographics also show the largest contributor on the revenue side among major tax head when explaining where the government money originates. Which component accounts for the highest percentage in the rupee comes from? So the rupee is actually coming from the highest percentage. Here will be the income taxes. Okay, from the following taxes, income taxes is the highest contributing, is having the highest contributing share. On the expenditure side, the budget chart displays where the government funds are allocated, highlighting transfer and spending priorities. Which item account for the highest share in the rupee goes to? In the rupee goes to. Is it interest payment, defense expenditure, capital expenditure, state share of taxes, or subsidies? The correct choice here will be, guys, option D, state share of taxes. Okay, option D, state share of taxes is the correct choice. So this data is from the Union Budget 2026-2027, right? And I have done a detailed video related to the finance key takeaway. So definitely this video is going to be important for your examination from the financial angle, right, of your syllabus. So please do watch this video. This is almost a 1 hour video, more than 1 hour video, right? So definitely आप इसको जरूर देखिएगा, right? And this is the crux of whatever we discussed. This is how the rupee comes from. Borrowings and liability contributes the highest share, right, followed by corporation tax and then GST, and income tax and then GST, right? So in taxes, I will say income tax is having the highest contribution. Then the rupee goes to is as follow, right? A share of state in the taxes is having the highest share in the rupee goes to. To modernize India's skill training ecosystem and upgrade the ITIs, the World Bank approved a large financing package focused on the employability and infrastructure improvement. What is the approved loan amount here? What is the approved loan amount here? The approved loan amount here is option D, 830 million US dollars, right? Acha, every year we are doing a event, I will say. Regulators and financial institutions are jointly conducting a campaign, right? So can you tell me in financial in the February 2026 a week was fixed, right? A week was fixed which is called as Financial Literacy Week, and RBI conducts this particular initiative every year. So can you exactly tell me the duration of the Financial Literacy Week for 2026? The duration was option C, from 9th of February to 13th of February 2026, right? This was the duration. This annual initiative has now become a regular feature in the financial calendar since which year has the financial literacy week been observed in India? So from when we are doing this particular initiative, it's been a long time, and since 2016 we are involved in this, RBI is involved in this particular initiative related to the financial literacy week. So every year we are having financial literacy week, usually in the month of February only, and always we have a particular theme. Okay, in every year we have a different theme. Can you tell me the theme for the financial literacy week for 2026? What was the theme for 2026? Any idea? Here the correct choice will be, guys, option E, KYC, your first step towards secure banking. So this particular week was all about KYC, right? So here is the data related to the RBI launching the financial literacy week, right? The theme was KYC, right? Your first step to safe banking. And 3 events were covered: KYC, re-KYC and CKYC. Okay, this was the duration of the week. Please do remember this update, important for your examination. Okay, this is important for your examination. Next one. India's inflation targeting framework assigns a clear mandate to the Monetary Policy Committee. What is the primary objective of the Monetary Policy Committee? The primary objective of Monetary Policy Committee is to maintain the price stability and support the economic growth. We all know that MPC meeting was there in February. The results were announced, and that's why I am taking this news in your finance current affairs, right? The whole idea of Monetary Policy Committee meeting is maintaining the price stability and supporting the economic growth. Option E is the correct choice. Can you guys tell me the repo rate which is there currently? The repo rate is option B, 5.255%. So it was unchanged. Okay, there were no changes in the repo rate, so it was unchanged. And what was the policy stance? What was the policy stance? Any idea about the policy stance? The policy stance was neutral, right? RBI is quite neutral. That means they are open to rate cuts if required. They are open to increasing the rates if required, right? They are neutral. So time will tell what will happen. Being neutral means you are not at all biased on a particular side. So definitely time will tell. Okay, that's what the neutral stance means. Next one. Within the RBI liquidity framework, banks have access to emergency borrowing window. Whenever we talk about emergency, the answer is always marginal standing facility, right? Marginal standing facility is the emergency rate. So this is not a static portion, but still I am covering it. Okay, some of the concepts in the finance current affairs are related to static portion as well. 99% are related to the dynamic portion. 1 to 2% can be there relating to the static portion as well. Acha, can you also tell me that we are having a LAF corridor concept, right? We have a LAF corridor concept. What is the ceiling rate of the LAF corridor? This is the ceiling. So what is the ceiling rate? The ceiling rate is nothing but MSF only. Okay, the ceiling rate is MSF only, right? So the floor rate is basically SDF, the ceiling rate is basically MSF, and repo rate is always in between both these rates, and that's what the corridor concept is all about, right? For financial year 2026, RBI projected real GDP growth at a specific year-on-year rate. What was the real GDP growth rate projection for financial year 2026? Anyone in the comment section? As per the MPC meeting, what was the projection? The projection, option D, 7.4% is the projection. Okay, 7.4% is the projection. Inflation projections play a critical role in monetary policy calibration. The RBI also releases CPI forecast alongside growth estimates for financial year 2026. The CPI inflation was projected at what percentage? This is for 2026. The correct answer here will be option B. 2.1% is the correct choice. Okay, 2.1%. So this is from the RBI MPC meeting February 2026. Right? Next one. The market capitalization milestone often dominated by technology firms globally. However, in 2026, a retail giant crossed a historical valuation threshold, becoming the first in its segment to do so. Which company became the world's first retail firm? I am talking about the retail firm to reach 1 trillion USD market value, market capitalization basically. Here the correct choice will be, guys, option E. Walmart was the company, first retail company to reach this particular valuation. India push towards universal insurance coverage achieved a landmark milestone when one district became the first in country to fully insure all the eligible resident, and this can be important. Which district achieved 100% of the insurance coverage? And this was none other than the district Alwar, which is there in the Rajasthan, right? Alwar is the first district to achieve so. Next one, foreign portfolio investor onboarding historically involved extensive paperwork. In 2026, one Indian bank completed the first fully digital FPI license issuance using the electronic signature. Important for the examination. What is the name of the bank? What is the name of the bank? The correct choice here will be, guys, option D. It was Kotak Mahindra Bank. Okay. To improve women participation in the capital market, a mutual fund house launched India's first women-centric AMC branch. Which mutual fund initiated this particular move? It was option E, LIC Mutual Fund. Okay, LIC Mutual Fund is the correct choice. An MOU between India Post and NSE aims to convert the idle savings into productive investments by improving the last mile access to capital market products. Which financial product is the core focus of this particular partnership? Is it the government bonds, small savings schemes, mutual funds, insurance products, or pension plans? It is none other than mutual funds only. So India Post and NSE has actually entered into a MOU focusing on the expanding the mutual fund access in rural areas as well. Next, to reduce the compliance burden on the very small lenders, RBI proposed exempting certain NBFCs from mandatory registration, and I will tell you guys, this is as of now just the proposal. Which NBFC category qualifies for this particular exemption? This is as of now in the proposal stage. Soon it will be finalized. Okay, soon it will be finalized, and once it is finalized, it is very, very important for your examination. It will be very, very important for your examination. The correct choice here will be, guys, option A. Up to 1000 crore NBFCs can get exemption here. Okay, RBI recently removed a long-term investment ceiling to enhance the flexibility for the foreign investors under the special route. This is going to be important. Which route saw the removal of 2.5 lakh crore cap? This is super important for your examination, a very high probability question. Please do mark it as important. Okay. And here the correct choice will be, guys, option E, voluntary retention route. So voluntary retention route saw the removal of 2.5 lakh crore cap. Earlier we used to have it, now we don't have it. It will be counted as a part of general route only. Acha, can you also tell me the minimum retention period under the VRR? Because this is voluntary retention route, so there is a word retention in it. What is the minimum retention period under VRR? That's 3 years. Okay, that's 3 years. It is still there. The foreign investment in India debt market is subject to security wise ceiling for central government securities. What is the FPI investment cap? At what percentage of the outstanding stock? Now, I know this is the previous data only, but because VRR was in news, so this data will also is going to be important for your examination. So what is the data? What do you think is the correct answer here? The correct answer here is 6% for central government, right? For central government, it is 6%. What about the corporate bonds? There is a cap on the corporate bonds as well. What is the cap? The cap on the corporate bonds is 15%. Okay, so 6% for central government securities, 15% for corporate bonds. What about the SDLs, state development loans? For the state development loans, the cap is, quickly in the comment section, guys, quickly. The cap for this particular one is option E, 2%. Okay, 2% is the cap for the state development loans, right? So we have covered this news in a detailed manner. A detailed video specifically for news for this news is also there on the YouTube channel. Plus we have covered it in the respective finance current affair session as well. Next, the concept of dedicating a full week to nationwide financial awareness did not emerge in isolation. It originated from policy discussions. Who first suggested the idea of observing the Financial Literacy Week? Now that's the homework for all of you. Okay, so do let me know in the comment section which is the correct choice here. Okay, next one. Financial digitization in India has been tracked through composite indicators developed by Reserve Bank of India. It has become an important barometer for monitoring the expansion of the digital payment ecosystem. According to the RBI release for September 2025, what level did the digital payment index reach now? The level of DPI is option B, 516.76. Okay, 516.76. India's digital payment ecosystem is assessed using a composite index which evaluates multiple components. The index does not rely on a single metric, but it is combining so many metrics. Can you tell me which parameter primarily contributed to the growth in the DPI for this particular September 2025 data? What were the parameters? Which were the parameters that actually contributed to the growth? Here are the options in front of you. Do let me know in the comment section the parameters. Guys, the correct choice here will be option C. It was the payment performance and the payment enablers. There are so many parameters. Out of those parameters, the payment performance and the enablers actually contributed. Okay. So that's the correct choice. Next one. Commodity derivative markets are gradually expanding in India. So can you tell me which underlying asset has been approved by SEBI recently for a futures contract on National Stock Exchange recently? The correct choice is natural gas. Okay, natural gas is the correct choice. Governance reform in the cooperative banks have been introduced to improve institutional continuity, board stability and strategic oversight. This is going to be important. As part of amendment made to the Banking Regulation Act 1949, the maximum tenure, can you tell me the maximum tenure of directors of the cooperative banks that has been revised, and what is the new maximum tenure permitted under this particular reform? The new maximum tenure permitted in this particular reform is option B, 10 years. Okay, it is 10 years. Urban cooperative banks have been allowed greater flexibility to support the housing finance. The regulators have revised these limits to allow cooperative banks to participate more actively in the retail housing credit. Under the revised framework, what is the new capping on the housing loan as a percentage of the total loans in advances? On the total loans in advances. The correct answer is 25%. Okay, 25% is the correct choice. Next is the question related to priority sector lending. So, based on the recent developments in the priority sector lending, loan sanctioned by a bank to which institution? I am a bank, I have sanctioned a loan to which institution? Tell me the name of that institution. For on lending to cooperative society will be qualifying as a PSL loan. And the correct choice here will be National Cooperative Development Corporation. So, if a bank is giving loan to National Cooperative Development Corporation for on lending basis to the cooperative, then in that case this will be eligible for the PSL, right? Next one. Can you tell me the India's inflation rate recorded for January 2026 month, which was published in February? That's why it is a part of your finance current affairs for the month of February. This is the retail inflation, and when we talk about retail inflation, it's none other than your CPI, right? Your consumer price index. So which is the one? The correct choice is option B, 2.75%, right? 2.75% is the correct choice. And what about the WPI rate? What about the WPI rate? The WPI rate was 1.81%, right? Mergers and acquisition financing, very important, has been traditionally dominated by private credit funds and foreign lenders due to regulatory limits on banks' participation. The Reserve Bank of India has revised the acquisition financing norms to allow the bank to play a larger role in corporate restructuring and consolidation transaction. Under the revised prudential norms, bank can allocate up to what percentage of their tier 1 capital for acquisition financing. For acquisition financing. The correct choice here will be, guys, option D, 20%. 20% is the correct choice. Acha, tell me this one also. This is also important. Acquisition financing rules specify prudential safeguard to ensure that the borrower maintains sufficient equity participation in the transactions, while the bank limit their exposure to the deal value. Under the revised RBI framework, bank may finance a portion of the acquisition value subject to the acquirer's minimum equity, bringing minimum equity contribution from their own resource, right? So which of the following combination correctly represents this particular structure? This is also going to be important for the examination. What will be the structure here? What do you think should be the correct choice? Let me know in the comment section quickly. Then we'll proceed to the next question. The correct choice here will be option C. 75% will be the financing and 25% you need to bring in the form of equity. You need to also have that skin in the game, right? So this is going to be definitely important for your examination. Please don't ignore this particular news. National accounts compilation in India is periodically revised to incorporate improved methodologies, new administrative data, and internationally aligned statistical standard. During the revision for the National Accounts Base Year to 2023, the Advisory Committee on the National Account Statistics constituted multiple expert groups to examine different aspects of the GDP estimation. How many subcommittees were constituted to examine the technical gaps and recommended the improvement for the GDP measurement? The correct answer here will be, guys, option B, 5. Okay. Public expenditure patterns in the union budget often reflects the government emphasis on social development, inclusive growth. Compared to the previous fiscal year, what was the percentage what percentage allocation for the schemes related to women and children increase? Here the correct answer is option E, 11.55%. Okay. Acha, tell me this one. This is regarding the global AI funding. India's share in the total global private funding for artificial intelligence, and we all know that India is having a very slight share of 0.6%. Okay, 0.6%. Payment Bank in India operate with restrictions on lending activities and therefore often create separate financial entities to provide the credit services. Which entity recently received the approval to operate as NBFC, non-deposit taking type 2 entity? This is a subsidiary of Bharti Airtel, right? This is a subsidiary company of Bharti Airtel. So which is the one? What is the name of the entity? The name of the entity is Airtel Payments Bank Limited, right? Airtel Payments Bank Limited is now the type 2 NBFC, non-deposit taking. Infrastructure activity in the India is frequently assessed through index of 8 core industry, right? So in index of 8 core industry, we do have certain sectors like coal, crude oil, steel, electricity, cement, etc. Can you tell me the growth rate in the index of 8 core industries in January 2026? In January 2026. The correct answer is option C, right? Option C, 4% is the correct choice. To strengthen India's export competitiveness, this is going to be super important for your examination. The government of India has launched Export Promotion Mission EPM, right? So under this particular mission architecture, the EPM is operating through 2 integrated sub schemes. Can you tell me the name of that 2 integrated sub schemes? This is going to be very, very important for your examination. The correct answer here will be, this is super important guys, please do note it down, Niryat Protsahan and Niryat Disha, right? These are the 2 integrated sub schemes in which it operates. Acha, there are so many interventions now recently in the export promotion mission. So can you tell me the number of interventions newly introduced by the government of India? The correct choice here will be option C, 7, right? So there are 7 new interventions which were introduced in the export promotion mission, right? With the rapid expansion of the cross-border online trade, the government has introduced a dedicated financial mechanism to support the exporters engaged in the e-commerce platform. Under the direct e-commerce credit facility, what is the maximum credit support available with the guarantee coverage? With the guarantee coverage. So this is regarding the direct e-commerce credit facility. Under the direct credit facility, e-commerce credit facility, 50 lakh rupees with 90% guarantee is the correct choice, option E. Next one, to improve liquidity support for exporters and reduce the cost of financing trade receivables, the export promotion mission provides interest subsidy under certain credit instruments such as export factoring and e-commerce export credit. This subsidy helps reduce effective financing costs for exporters and encourages the participation in the global market. Can you tell me the interest subvention available under this particular scheme subject to an annual ceiling? We all know that here the correct choice will be 2.75%. This is the interest subvention available, right? We have done it multiple times. We have read it multiple times. Infrastructure financing policies increasingly focus on unlocking the value from existing public assets rather than relying solely on the fresh borrowings. Which initiative was officially launched by the Union Finance Minister as a second phase of India's infrastructure program? As a second phase of India's infrastructure program. And the correct choice here will be National Monetization Pipeline 2.0. Option A is the correct choice. Can you also tell me what is the term used to describe the process of mobilizing the funds from existing operational public assets? If I am mobilizing the funds from the existing operational public assets, what will be the term used in this case, which is called as asset recycling, right? Option C is the correct choice. Asset recycling is the term which was used in that particular news. Corporate sector financial performance was recently released by Reserve Bank of India, right? So what was the year-on-year expansion in the net profit of these companies? I am talking about here private non-financial companies in quarter 3 of financial year 2026. The correct choice here is option B, 5.2%. Okay. So these were the 7 new interventions under the export promotion mission. This is going to be super important for your examination. Please do remember the categories. Okay. International trade disputes sometimes lead to countervailing duties when importing countries believe exporters benefit from government subsidies. In which category of products exported from India to the United States faced duties of approximately 126%? The correct choice here is solar products, right? So solar products actually face this particular duties. Next one, India has been experimenting with integrating the digital currency into the welfare delivery system to improve transparency, to reduce the leakage in the subsidy distribution as well. So under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the government launched a pilot using central bank digital currencies for subsidy transfer in the Union Territory of Pondicherry. Which type of subsidy distribution is being tested through this particular CBDC based pilot? Was it related to fertilizer, LPG, food, electricity or crop insurance? This is going to be important. Why? Because it is related somewhere or the other to the blockchain technology. Here we are talking about CBDC. The correct choice is option C, food subsidy, right? Food subsidy is been tested here. Next one, which feature ensures that tokens remain purpose bound? The digital currency introduces policy features that allows the government to ensure welfare transfer are used strictly for the intended purpose. That means there is no misutilization of funds. So which feature of CBDC is ensuring this particular objective? And the name of the feature here will be option B, programmability. Okay, because we can program it and you can only use it for the stated purpose in the program. Okay, that's what the power of blockchain technology, distributed technology, which is behind the CBDC is, right? Next is central public sector enterprises in India are categorized by the Department of Public Enterprises into different schedules based on financial strength, operational scale and strategic importance. So recently the National Small Industrial Corporation was upgraded to a higher category among the CPEC. What is the new category in which it has been upgraded? The correct answer here is option A, Schedule A. Okay, so from Schedule B to Schedule A, Schedule A is the new upgrade. Now these two questions are for your homework. One is related to the RBI deferment related to introduction of the unique transaction identifier for the OTC derivative. So what is the new date from which this direction is going to apply? And the next one is related to the merchandise trade indices. There is a revision in the base year of this indice.
You need to tell me the revised base year, right? So do let me know in the comment section, guys. Both the questions are for your homework. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you soon in some other video. Bye bye. Take care.